Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today we're going to have a little bit of a discussion. This is something that's been on my mind, and I've talked about it a little bit here and there, and you've seen me stress out about it before. I'm not going to stress today. I've kind of come to a different way of viewing this certain thing, and got some advice for some good friends, and just I have much more peace about it. So I wanted to talk about it today. So we're going to have some tea. Don't worry, I will not be spilling it, but I am drinking a tea. This is from my Sips By box, which I did an unboxing for July. I'll leave that link down below if you guys haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to try a new one. This is brand new that I haven't opened yet. This is Lavender Dew White Tea, and it smelled really good when I opened it. This is from Udon Tea. So I'm going to try this right now. I haven't even had a sip yet. It's still pretty hot, so we'll see if I can even take a sip right now. But I do put honey in my tea as well. I get this huge thing from Sam's that's just horrible honey. You just squeeze it in. I have to have honey in my tea. It's comforting for me. So let's see what I think here. Ooh, that's good. It's hot. I need to let it cool down a little bit more before I really dig in, but that's good. That's very light. I like that. Okay. All right, let's talk about review books. Okay, so you guys know that I do get a lot of review books from publishers. I'm getting more and more unsolicited review books, so they're starting to pile up. And I'll put a little clip here. I'll do a little insert of my cart that I bought from Target. I bought a TBR cart for all of my review books. So all of these books that are on the second and third shelves, the top one is not review books. Those are books that I'm just kind of like special projects coming up, all that. But the two bottom are all books that have been sent to me from publishers that are for review. And not even all of them are on there. I have a couple unsolicited ones that I haven't put on that shelf. I probably should. But it's a lot. It's a lot, guys. I have a lot of books that are sent to me, which I'm extremely grateful for, because that means publishers think enough of my channel and they think enough of my opinions that they want to send me books, and they trust that I will at least get the word out about them. So I do appreciate that, but they are piling up. So I have really gone through kind of a discovery about how I feel about this, and taking some of that pressure off myself, because the publishers are not putting pressure on me. I have had a couple here and there. I actually just got an email about 5 minutes ago following up on an unsolicited book I got. And I was like, oh, like they want to know if I'm going to cover it. Well, the thing that I promised them was I promised them that I would put it in a book haul, which I already have. And I promised that I would do an Instagram post on release day, which is not until mid-July. So I didn't promise I would read it. I didn't promise I would review it. I just said that I would do that, and it came unsolicited regardless. Like, I got an email about it after I already got it in the mail. So it's just kind of one of those things. But I'm not, for the most part, not feeling any pressure from the publishers to, do a review and to read it and read it. I'm not getting that. I put that on myself, because if I get a book, or if I request a book, if I agree to a book, because a lot of them on that cart were books that were, they contacted me first before they sent it to me. And I said, yes, absolutely. I'd love to cover this. And then I didn't. So I'm going to spill some tea on myself. So that's legit. That's on me. I'm not getting like a bunch of publishers going, why didn't you read this book? We sent it to you. That's not happening. I'm putting the pressure on myself to read it, because I either requested it or I agreed to read it. If it comes unsolicited, that's not on me. That's on the publisher, because they sent it to me without, like asking permission. I'm just on their mailing list. So I've had a question in the past, actually the past couple months, I had a question where, someone asked if I get in trouble if I don't read and review the books that I agree to or that I request. And no, I don't get in trouble. But I do run the risk of the publishers noticing that I'm not covering it or talking about it or reading it. And they could notice that, and they could maybe not be willing to send me things in the future. I don't know if the publishers are actually paying attention that closely. I don't know. I don't know if they're watching my videos. The only thing that I make sure I do is if I do cover a book, I make sure that I send the links to the publisher so that they know that I have covered it for them. Now, let's talk about reviews. Reviews are interesting because review videos are what I kind of assume that publishers want you to do when they send you a book, so that you talk about this book and, you're reading it and you're reviewing it and you're telling people whether or not they should read it. And they're hoping that you tell people they should read it. But review videos are the least viewed videos on my channel. Because if people haven't read a book, they don't want to watch a review for it. Sometimes they do. Sometimes I've done a review and people say, oh, well, after hearing your review, I'm going to go pick it up now. Or after hearing your review, I think I'm going to skip it. Maybe it's not for me. So some people do, but I tend to get a lot of feedback from people that they don't want to watch review videos before they read a book because they don't want to get spoiled, intentionally or not. So I totally understand that. I don't tend to watch review videos either if it's not a book I have read, unless it's something that I own that's maybe brand new. And I'm like, oh, Heather's a good one for that. Heather from Bookables. If she's, I've been getting some of the same books that she's getting, and I'll wait and see what she thinks first because she's really good about reading her review books right away. Goals. So I've watched a couple of hers just to see what she thought of some of them, and it has swayed whether or not I want to read them. So I don't know. It's review videos. I don't know how I feel about them. And then I had a conversation with Krista from Books and Jams. If I mention anybody, I'm going to leave them link down below, so make sure you go check them out. But Krista and I talk, we've been talking a few times a week, and I was going through this whole thing with review books, and she said, she made a really good suggestion to me about, what if you don't promise a review video anymore? What can you promise that's very easy for you to do? I can definitely do a haul. I can include it in my haul for that month. I do that anyway. So I can promise that. I could promise an Instagram post on release day. I have no problem showing when something is about to get released. I'll be upfront and say I haven't read it yet, but it's being released today. So if you're a fan of this author, here's a new book coming out. Here's the premise. What do you guys think? That I can easily do. And just don't promise to read it by a certain day. And then guess what? That pressure is taken off me automatically because I didn't make that promise. And I went, oh, I can do that. I don't know why I never thought just to kind of change that. And I did. So now when I request a book, I don't promise a review, because that's what I was doing when I was requesting books. I was promising review videos on the release date. Now I am promising I will show it in a book haul. I have no problem doing an Instagram post if you'd like me to do that. Things like that. So I don't promise to read and review it by the release date. I'm not making that promise anymore to a publisher because that puts so much pressure on me to do it. And that's where a lot of my guilt comes from, because I'm getting these books, they're sending them to me, they're wanting me to do these things, and I'm just not doing them because I'm reading other things or whatever. So I thought that was wonderful. And the one thing I do still want to work on, though, because I am still getting books, I'm still requesting books, I'm still requesting arcs of books that I'm really, really excited about. I'm getting more picky about what I'm accepting, and I'm getting more picky about what I'm requesting. I'm not requesting every single book, that's coming out. And I am still really wanting to make sure, though, that if I request a book, or it's something that the publisher contacts me and I say, yes, absolutely, I still want to try to get to those a little bit sooner. Unsolicited stuff, I don't have control over. I'm to a point now where I'm on publisher's email or publisher's mailing list. So I'm getting a lot more unsolicited things, which is fantastic. But if I get something unsolicited, I'm not going to worry about that because that's something that they sent to me. I'll still show it in a book haul. If it's something I get and I'm genuinely excited about, I'll do an Instagram post and thanking the publisher for sending it to me. And maybe I'll try to get to it sooner rather than later if it's something I'm excited about. But if it's something I request more than anything, I want to read it and I want to make sure that I'm covering that book adequately. That way, if I request more books, the publishers will be more likely to say, oh, well, she follows up on her stuff. Yes, absolutely. You can have this one of the most anticipated books of the year released, type thing. I'm not going to get Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I requested it. There's no way I'm going to get it. And I know that. I'm just not a big enough channel. I don't have a big enough influence on people to get something like that. And they're very coveted, I guess. But, if I had gotten something like that, that would be one, that the publisher would notice that I do my things and they would, see that I'm kind of a bigger influencer, which I'm not. But it's just as an example, you know, like if I got something like that, I should read it right away type thing. But yeah, I don't know. It just really hit me when I had a couple of arcs sitting on my nightstand, but I have to read other things too. But I would rather read these arcs, and why haven't I read them yet? Why didn't I read them right when I got them? I got them a couple months ago. Like, what am I doing? And that also falls into the danger of having such a set TBR. I don't give myself time to read arcs. I don't set aside a couple of books a month. You know, hey, I'm probably going to get some arcs. Maybe I'll get some review books that I'm really excited to read. I should leave some room in my TBR for it. So that's another thing that I'm still kind of working on, my TBR stuff, and I'm not giving myself room to read these review books. You know, they just become another add-on, and you know, so I'm still trying to think about how I'm going to do my TBRs moving forward. I'm still working on wanting to mood read a little bit more. I'm still not there. You know, July is a very much of a catch-up type of month because I do have a couple special projects I'm trying to finish up for videos, which I finished one. I have another one I'm still working on. Hopefully I can have that done by the end of July. We'll have to see. But, you know, just I read along, I'm trying to catch up on and doing all these things, but I do have arcs that I still want to read, and it's like, ugh. So I don't know. I just haven't found a balance of, you know, reading whatever I want, mood reading, picking up brand new, you know, things that have been sent to me versus reading a set TBR that I've set for myself. It's hard. I'm struggling to balance that. I really, really, truly am. So I think for August, a little bit of a spoiler alert, August, my TBR is probably going to be mostly a readathon TBR because it's going to be for the whole month. And then after that, I may try to go in a different way for the rest of the year and just give it a try and see what I think and see if maybe it changes the way I read. We'll see. But I have some ideas brewing. So I struggle though. I struggle with, you know, I want to mood read and read whatever I want, whenever I want. And I do better with a TBR. So I don't know. I don't know what kind of reader I am. I'm still figuring it out. I'm 40 years old and I'm still trying to figure this out about myself. I have no idea. I also definitely fall into the comparison trap of myself. You know, I see people like Heather who gets a lot of review books, and Amy from A Court of Crowns and Quills gets a lot of review books, and they're very good about reading them, you know, really quickly, especially the ones they're excited about. And then I see people who get, you know, nothing but NetGalley books, and they read them right away. You know, they try to read them before publication date, and ooh, my NetGalley, it just piles up and piles up, and I get to them whenever I get to them. But I find myself very envious of that. And, you know, not that I need to read all of my review books when I get them. You know, the ones that I'm really excited about, I really want to try to read quickly when I get them. Even if it's a couple months ahead of time, I want to read them quickly. So, struggles. All right, guys, that's it for me. I just kind of wanted to talk out my thoughts about all this because it's something that I've been struggling with, you know, for a while. If you've been here for a while, you know I've struggled with this, and just making time to, you know, read those types of books and to not put pressure on myself to read the unsolicited stuff if I'm truly not interested. I've gotten some stuff that I have opened and then immediately put in a donate pile. I haven't even talked about them or discussed them because they were not books I was interested in. They're not genres that I read. I don't know how I got on that mailing list, so I haven't bothered even like sharing those. But for the most part, you know, if I get a book and it seems like it's going to be something that a lot of people are going to want to know about, I at least talk about it, even if I don't end up reading it. But yeah, I don't know. I really truly strive to get to the point where if I'm getting an early copy of a book that I am excited about, I want to read it when I get it. Like, put it on my nightstand. That's the next thing I'm going to pick up after I finish whatever I'm reading, type of thing. That's something that I'm kind of striving for at this point. All right, let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know your thoughts on review videos. That would be really interesting to know if you guys watch review videos. If you do, why? If you don't, why not? And I have felt a lot less pressure after I've been responding to publishers and not promising a separate review video on the date, because if I don't do it, then I feel like I failed. But I'm trying not to set myself up for failure at this point. I just have to be realistic about my reading. I have to say, okay, thank you for the book that comes out next week. I don't have time to read it right now. I just don't, but I'll show it. And I'll let my viewers know that it's coming out and that I have it in my possession, and, you know, let people know when it's coming out and everything and to look out for it. But definitely taking that pressure off the review video specifically has really helped me. And then I also realized, you know, I'm noticing a lot of other bigger booktubers, mainly Books and Lala. She doesn't do review videos for any of the arcs that she gets. And she has been very vocal about, I'm a terrible book reviewer. I don't find the words. I don't know how to describe things. They're awful. She talks about them more in her wrap up than anything. And she does show them on Instagram, and she'll type out kind of her review, which is probably just better for her to, you know, it's something that she can say and that she can edit, and she can, you know, kind of make it what she wants it to be in written form versus saying it out loud on a video. And I admire that too. And she's also very good about reading, you know, big releases that she's very, very excited about that she's receiving. So yeah, more goals. All right, guys, that's it. Let me know your thoughts down below. I want to hear them for sure. This is a discussion. Discuss down below. I will discuss back and forth with you as well. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day.